Hey, we're live.
Oh no.
Oh, no. What the heck?
There's a slight hang up there.
That's because for some reason Cortana just decided to say, hey, look at me. That was really weird.
You're like, I
She's
don't
a
care.
very needy AI.
That was really, really odd.
Be gone with you. Let's see, do we have anybody in the chat?
That's nobody right now. Probably because
Still
we're
loading.
Uh-huh.
At least for me, it's still loading.
Someone go get Firefly.
Yeah, no Firefly right now. Did we announce on the Facebook?
I don't think so. I'll do it right now. But you know what? I can do that while I do the opener. So
What? Multitasking? We can't do that.
Oh, you can
multitasking.
live at that speed?
Multipass.
Multipass. Big bada boom. All right, let's do that opener.
Roll
The
that
following
beautiful beat
podcast is
footage.
intended for mature audiences. The opinions expressed do not reflect this station or any affiliated partners. Listener discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Geek EZ.
See how easy that was?
This is very easy. Though the Twitch did flake out on me because I did type in the chat there and it just like, you don't have authority. I'm like, what? How do I not have authority? The
You
Twitch.
don't have all the Infinity Stones?
You don't have the stones.
No, the only one here who's actually had stones has been you.
Not true, I've had stones.
Okay, it was the only one I knew off the top of my head. And I'm pretty sure that the pain felt like infinity.
And beyond.
Nice.
Those are the stones you don't want.
No. They last for infinity, but
You know, just on that subject. Because I'm weird, I go through YouTube looking at just random videos. And for some damn reason, I thought, huh, I wonder what kidney stones look like. And my God, did I find out. There's apparently certain ones that can be so big, it takes up the shape of the kidney. Which begs the question, how is that person not dead?
yeah, they're the one that I had to have surgically removed was what they say, it was like a razor blade.
Ooh,
Jagged in like 100 different spots. This happens when you drink way too much Coca-Cola.
The one I saw was something like, because you could put it against a ruler, well over 6 inches in length.
Holy crap!
Yeah, like I said, it's like, how is this person not dead? They took it out and the kidney started crying like, freedom!
6 inches?
Pretty sure.
Because let's see, I know the one I had wasn't even an inch long. But it had actually blocked everything, so it was all bad. Why are we talking about this?
Because we started talking about stones and it just kind of went from there.
Oh dear lord. This isn't geeky, this is disgusting.
Well, it's more like, these are the things that you can actually find online and you're just like, why do people put that on there? But that actually came from a medical YouTube channel, so I give them a pass.
Huh.
Anyways, stones of the other type.
Well, Tank, we missed you on Saturday.
I was busy.
Well, like I put up on the social medias, because I finally got it all edited together today. The Geek EZ conversation about the Infinity Stones and the Infinity War is now live on YouTube. If you got 30 minutes to spare and you got nothing better to listen to, give it a listen. Just don't hate us, please. I don't mind comments, but don't hate us.
No haters.
Don't
Views and
hate us.
opinions expressed in the show are right and you're wrong.
Yes. They're opinions. Everybody's got them. Much like a big green asshole.
Mm.
Oh, and by the way, if you're listening to the Geek EZ right now live, most likely there will be spoilers for Avengers Infinity War. Because we don't know how not to spoil things.
It's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, so far everyone that's come out we spoiled. I mean, but we're what? It's Wednesday. The movie came out last Thursday, so it's been a week, right?
Close enough to it.
Yeah, it's all good.
Well, the reason why I wasn't present, I think, is entertaining, and I should at least tell that story.
I'll tell that story before we get into the Infinity War.
Yes. Mine was a bit of a different war. Actually, it was even before the war. First things first, have you heard of a game called Secret Hitler?
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Right, so this is a board game, mixture board/card game, created by the same people who brought you Cards Against Humanity. So you already have an idea where this is going to go. And what you got to do, you got to have 5 to 10 people to play. So it's definitely a party game. You got 2 boards. You got 2 political parties because it's set in 1930s Germany. So before World War II is even kicked off. And there's going to be more of one party over the other. The parties you got the liberals and you got the fascists. And the liberals' job is to fill their board before the fascists fill theirs. It's not easy because there's not as many policies. There's a pile of little policies that you can pull from. Or they win if they find Hitler and kill him. Because one of the players is gonna be Hitler. You have no idea who's who unless you're the fascist party players, because they get to see who is the fascists in the party and who is Hitler. Hitler, though, doesn't get to see anybody else. He just indicates that he's Hitler, or she does.
It sounds very much like a political version of Exploding Kittens.
The way I've heard it described is that it sounds a lot like Clue. And I guess in a way it kind of is a bit to either. So you're going to get a little envelope that's going to give you 2 ballots, your party affiliation, and your role. Guess what my role was?
You were Hitler.
I was Hitler. Right out the gate. First time playing, I'm Hitler. Oh boy. So, there's 2 other roles involved. There's the president and the chancellor. The president gets to pick the chancellor. Everybody at the table will vote for that government. If everybody votes yay, then that's who's going to be president, that's who's going to be chancellor. If they vote nay, then it moves on. So, first 2 rounds we went through, we already had 2 fascist policies put down. A little concerning if you are the liberal parties, folks. It gets to me. I've been made chancellor. Now, if the fascists get 4 fascist policies down and the secret Hitler is made chancellor, then they win. But I hadn't gotten there yet. We only had 3. Or we would have 3 if I chose it. Instead, I put down a liberal policy and played the long game. And Wolfie, no, we cannot hear you. So, keeps moving around. The guy that made me president, or maybe chancellor, I made him chancellor while I was president. See, kind of building it up. Now the liberals got a couple more policies in place. We're down now, though. We get down to the point where there's 4 policies in place for the fascists and like 3 for the liberals. We need just 1 more. And I'm looking at the other guy because we've voted down president and chancellor options or choices. We didn't like them. And I looked at the guy where it came to his turn again, because if you don't pass it, it goes on to the next person in line. I look at him and said, made a good team the last 2 times, and he made me chancellor. I picked the policy, put it down, and I have to admit I was maybe a little too enthusiastic when I declared Sieg Heil and won the game. The look of betrayal on his face was priceless. We played it twice.
Just imagining Tank throwing down a card and going, Skyle!
Which is exactly what happened, actually. And the funny thing is the other guys, there was like 4 fascists total, including, Secret Hitler. And the moment I did that, the other 3 basically did the same damn thing. And one of them was a black guy. He played his part so beautifully. Because one of the other players was saying, he's a fascist, everybody. We need to stop him. He is definitely a fascist. So we shot him.
We have ways of making you go away.
Pretty much. He was too squeaky, as another person put it. So yeah, we played a second time. I was made a liberal the second time around, and we actually won that game too. So the 2 times that I played it, I won both times, or at least I was on the winning team, I should say. It's a fantastic game. Doesn't take long, and the amount of people just screaming at each other is hilarious. So I highly recommend it. I ordered it. It's $35 off Amazon.
Holy crap, that's a lot for cards.
It's not just cards.
Still a lot of money.
That's nothing, man. I don't know how much spent for the Street Fighter Kickstarter, Street Fighter board game, miniatures game. Just the core game of that, once it's out, is going to be $80.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but you're getting 6 miniatures. Each miniature would normally retail at $15 a pop. Oh, side note. I was mistaken. That kidney stone was over 3 inches. I just found it, sorry. Yes, it was a lot of fun. I definitely recommend that game. So, by all means, you should definitely, get it and play it.
I wonder if it's available for Tabletop Simulator.
I don't know. It's been out a little while. They did a successful Kickstarter for it, and if you had been part of that Kickstarter, they gave you a bonus, where if you didn't want to play as Secret Hitler, you played as Secret Trump. And things were replaced from the Fuhrer to Dictator and things like that. And this was before the election, so no throwing us hate mail on that. We'll give you other reasons to throw hate mail.
Yep, and it's going to happen.
It's coming.
No, it's just usually a single slur, which I think is hilarious because it's not really even a slur. Because anytime you say anything revolving around comic book movies, here or there. The word fanboy is always used.
Well, fanboy is used not just in with regards to comic book movies. It's just kind of used in general these days. You're a fanboy.
Yes, I'm a boy, and yes, I'm a fan. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's spelled B-O-I.
There's always. I wonder if it's still up on Urban Dictionary. Actually, let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, it's still up on Urban Dictionary. Fan muffin.
Fan muffin?
A combination of fangirl or fanboy and a twat muffin. Generally closed-minded, overzealous fans who, upon realizing they can't win an argument, resort to insults and general ass-hattery. That is my one definition on Urban Dictionary.
Well then. It's a quote, so no hate mail on that either.
No, we can get hate mail on that one. I don't care.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Because I'm not. So don't hate me.
Do we just hate you in general?
Well, I mean, I thought we were friends.
But the best sign of friendship is hate. So really, the Sith Order is just the biggest group of friends that you've ever seen.
Like My Little Pony.
Exactly.
My little Sith Lord.
My little Sith Lord.
Uh,
You got to end that with a force choke sound.
Oh, right. What else? Well, let's see. Trying to think what else we can yak about.
well, I did find Secret Hitler on Tabletop Simulators Workshop.
That's what it is there.
Yes.
We may have to do that as a thing. No, we'd have to have a minimum of 5 players.
It shouldn't be too hard to arrange.
No, shouldn't.
Oh my god, Dark Souls, the card game.
I don't even know how you would play that.
Roll the dice. What did you roll? 19. You're dead. What if I rolled a 20? Still dead. What if I rolled a 1? Still dead.
But it was a crit.
Extra dead.
But it was a 20.
Super extra dead.
Super extra dead.
I'm not sure I want to play this game.
Well, now you know why I've never really gotten into Dark Souls. I have work to pull my hair out. I don't need video games for that.
You know what's really funny is watching the internet lose its collective mind over certain things. Infinity War is one. Then there's all this. Every time a casting announcement is made, whether it's or a directorial thing is made, the latest 2 that are out there are obvious attention grabbers for those who like to play gender politics. Whether it was the director that they were looking for a female director for Star Wars, and now that they're looking for a new female lead for Star Wars for the next one. And of course,
The next anthology?
No. For I guess episode 9, they're looking. There's another female coming into the play. And I think I didn't read the article because I wasn't getting into it. Because I mean, it doesn't matter to me. It's like, okay, as long as the story is good, I don't care who's in it.
It's the replacement for Carrie Fisher. Princess Leia's getting a facelift.
But the lines in the sand are drawn, and people will lose their minds, whether it's on one side of it or the other. Where everybody's like, you got the well, it's about time, or you have the blah 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 blah. I'm like,
Social justice warriors are breaking everything.
Like, guys, really?
My mind witch.
Now, I will say that Kathleen Kennedy has played the the gender politics side of things every once in a while. When she came out and said the force was female, and she did say it, she was definitely playing up a. Now, I don't think she meant it in a term to get people all riled up, like those idiots that decide that there's too many women in movies and we need to destroy that. It's like, really? What? I'm so sorry that you get rejected left and right, that you feel the need to do this, but maybe if you weren't such a complete ass. But I don't know. It just the social media era. It makes me long for a time before the internet.
But the internet is for porn.
I don't think it is anymore.
And now it's for bitching.
Yeah, I think that's what it's for.
At least that's what people are using it for.
They're gonna have to rewrite Avenue Q. Because
The internet, you can't say that!
that word offends me. You can't say it. Yeah, I don't know. Firefly, this will be troublesome. With apologies to actual bitches.
Those poor dogs.
Woof.
At least now we have Firefly in the chat. We have someone to talk to, thank God. It's not just us.
Well, I'm sure that, I mean, we've gotten, I was amazed we actually got as many views on it as we did right off the bat. Maybe 8 views already on that thing when it was only a half hour old.
Yeah,
Hey.
you know we're struggling and we're glad about 8 views.
Yeah, well, you know what? When it comes right down to it, we are very low on that food chain. The cool thing is it pops up now on the side panel when you're watching other Infinity War things.
Well, actually, it's going to pop up for you because it's related to you.
Not if I don't sign in.
It still is. Because
Really?
of your IP.
Oh well, seeing as I did it with my VPN on, it might not actually see me anymore. Either way, we'll see what happens, because I'm sure as we get into the conversation further, people will start to realize. I mean, Firefly will realize, and that yeah, we will draw the ire of many. I don't know. We got to find out what Tank actually thought of it. And where the heck did Wolfie go? Did he just disappear completely?
He's trying to figure out if his mic is working.
Oh,
Oh, I pushed the wrong button.
there he is.
You actually launched Tabletop Simulator?
That's not what I wanted to do. That was an oops. I was actually trying to go to the community. I was like, let's click on that. Wait, no, not that. These things, they happen.
9.
These things, like I said, they happen.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
No, apparently there's a variation of Secret Hitler available on for Tabletop Simulator called Secret Dio. For the JoJo fan out there. But it was me! Dio! And I killed it.
Yes,
You did.
killed it.
But I'm just sitting, no, because when I hear the words JoJo, because I have a 6-year-old daughter, my brain instantly goes to JoJo Siwa. And I try not to think about that because, no. Just so much no.
Well, you also don't want to think about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
It's an odd, yes, it's an aptly named show.
It's very bizarre.
Yes.
I had never read anything about it. Finally, a friend of ours, BK, convinced me to watch it. And the first episode's like, oh, this is pretty bog standard. And what?
It's actually really hard to understand at times. It's almost as if it's like two conversations going on that have nothing to do with each other. Sometime. Yes. But a lot of animes, I think that's the way they dub it. When you get people just coming in and recording without actually responding and reacting to another recording, things always just sound wrong.
Yeah. That's why I like, well, I can give two particular examples here. Kill la Kill and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Apparently they recorded their lines where several of the voice actors were in the same room. And as a result, multiple voice actors decided to do bloopers.
Mm.
Many of them are not safe for work. But probably my favorite is there's a scene in Brotherhood where Hohenheim is basically explaining to the big bad guy how he plotted this really, really convoluted super, plot against the main bad guy that completely thwarted his plan. And in the actual anime, in the manga, he's explaining the people whose souls were inside him that he knew, who he was using as like a weapon against them. And in the blooper, he went, Jeremiah. He was a bullfrog. He was a good friend of mine. Didn't understand a thing he said, but I helped him drink his wine.
There's some other ones like, was it, it's like, you need to get out of here. I'm trying to save your life, asshole.
Or when Scar shows off his other arm, he's like, that's right. Bought it offline, shake weight, 30 minutes a day every day.
Chimeras. Bitchin'.
Or when he did another one, Chimeras. Oh, shit.
The having been in a few recording sessions and done voices and stuff, it is amazing how quickly things devolve in a recording booth into toilet and gutter humor when you drop a line or you flub something.
I think we have experience with this.
I could give an example from like the Kill la Kill bloopers prefacing, intended for mature audiences. They're in one of the bloopers, one character's looking at another and basically says, so it's a date then, and the other character goes, all right, but I have to warn you, my blowjobs are amazing.
Yeah, stuff like that. It devolves very quickly.
Like I said, I think we have experience with that with our previous election, quote-unquote, debate.
Yes. We did,
My opponents across the table could kindly go outside.
Yes. Finally go outside. Hey, you know what? What's really sad? I catch myself doing the Obi-Wan voice for no reason whatsoever while I'm driving. I've actually yelled at other people as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Didn't your kids yell at you for doing that?
What, at Obi-Wan?
Don't do that, Daddy.
Well, no, I mean, it's just the New Yorker in me. I yell at other drivers all the time.
I'm walking here.
My kids think it's hilarious. They can't hear you, Dad. I was like, I know.
I become a New Yorker when I'm driving.
What is wrong with you? Hit the gas pedal. I got flipped off today because I actually yelled it out the window and the guy had his window down.
I had a guy that, I was stopped and oncoming traffic was keeping me from turning, and I'm looking in my rearview mirror and I'm like, I'm stopped. And this white truck had to actually swerve off the road to avoid hitting me, even though he had, a quarter mile to see that I was fucking stopped. But your audiences. I literally stuck my head out the window. I was like, good thing your brakes work.
Well, mine was the exact opposite. There's a stop sign. It's a three-way stop, and it's actually a fairly busy three-way stop. And car in front of me didn't even slow down. I think his brake lights got tapped. I saw the brake light. He tapped his brakes, and he just made his turn. And I was like, huh?
California stop.
Yeah, but what's sad is there was a car waiting to make a left-hand turn there, and he was making a left-hand turn, and he just made his left-hand turn right in front of the guy who'd already been waiting because the car in front of the car that was in front of me turned, and the guy was graciously waiting his turn. Had he started, there would have been a really nice collision right there. But I yell out the window. I was like, "Oh, I guess stop signs are just a suggestion, huh?" And he flipped me off. It's like, I don't care if you're driving a Cadillac. Just because your car is expensive doesn't make you own the road. Just because your gauntlet's expensive doesn't make you rule the universe.
You'll never be a god.
I mean, honestly, with all the other geeky, there has been nothing really worth talking about because, I mean, we got the Ant-Man trailer, which does look funny. I'm looking forward to it.
We got Clover touring the Falcon, showing off Lando's cape closet.
Yes. The cape closet was epic.
I'm still wanting to watch that movie more for Lando than Han.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, so it's like because of I mean we got what 4 movies of Han Solo. We don't need another one. We need a Lando movie because Lando only got 2. But yes,
things that we could discuss. Oh well, Firefly's dropped a few things.
Go ahead.
You should pick those up. That's rude.
No.
Yeah, just because it's called the Geek EZ doesn't mean you get to just throw your garbage around.
Well, of the things he dropped, we've got. He mentioned that in the latest 10 forward for Star Trek Online, they showed off some of the Gamma Quadrant battles and mechanics. So they're showing more stuff, building up more of the hype for the upcoming expansion. We know that they've also started shipping out completed ships for the 3D printed ships. They've also discovered that there was some drawbacks to the 3D printing process. Because apparently they didn't realize for some of the nacelle options, because apparently a lot of people have gotten Odysseys. Well done for Adam. Everybody gave you so much, crap over it, and here they are spending upwards of $300 plus for an Odyssey. Anyway, they didn't realize that because it prints it upside down, it'll print them up to the point that the nacelles get first, and then it starts printing the pylons. The pylons couldn't hold the weight, and they didn't realize that at the time, so they had to do some adjustments.
I'm surprised they didn't have, well, like I said, lattice work, because usually whenever I would 3D print something that had like spindly bits, kind of like in the cell, there would be excess stuff printed like columns almost that you would eventually clip and sand off, but it would help support the spindly bits.
Spindly bits?
Yeah, I've certainly seen that because a coworker buddy has a 3D printer now, and we tested out printing off a Hero Forge character because now you can buy the digital download for $10. Fantastic deal if you have access to a 3D printer.
Which is becoming more and more common.
But anyway, so they learned from it. And now they're catching up again. All's going well. So the ships are going out, and we've seen pictures of it of people receiving the ships, and they are gorgeous, beautifully done. Let's see other things Firefly mentioned here. He wanted to take an opportunity to expound on Ghost, the Marvel Cinematic Universe Ghost. He's not sure how the gender of MCU Ghost would be relevant to anything. I don't know either.
Honestly, I don't even know the character, so it's not a character I'm familiar with in comics.
I mean, are they an actual ghost? Spiritual being?
No. Looks like they're just like a high-tech supervillain person thingy.
Firefly's digging up, but while he's digging that up, he mentions that the original backstory. It'd be interesting to see how much of the original's backstory they retain, keeping in mind that we only know said story via an unreliable narrator. He also hopes that they remember that Ghost's technology can phase or cloak, but not both simultaneously, and that it shows up very nicely on thermal imaging systems.
In the comics, Ghost was an unnamed anti-capitalist saboteur male, a brilliant inventor who created a battlesuit of his personally designed ghost tech, which allowed himself or any object he touched to be invisible or intangible.
Oh, he's going to be in Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah, apparently now it's
She.
lady named
Sorry.
Dawn. Which, if I'm understanding, Ghost was a pretty insignificant character in the comics. So it doesn't really, who cares? If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. It's not because the character. If it's Blad, it's Blad. If it's Vlad, it's Vlad.
So
Should have got Glad.
So you're saying we got vampires, and then we got vampires?
Vampires.
We've already discussed about vampire heaven, so we're not going back to that.
A vampire, when they're exposed to sunlight, explodes violently.
You think they get a last word before they go?
Mm-hmm.
They just look up. Crap! Boom!
Pop.
And
If
Wolfie
he wants
still,
to say things.
and Wolfie cannot.
Is it turned on?
Have you checked your TCP/IP settings? You clear your cookies?
If you try turning it off and on again.
What's really funny is I was actually looking at a Yeti the other day. Had it in my hand. I'm like, yeah, I'm not spending this kind of money.
Is not cheap.
I was actually suggesting that to a customer the other day because she came in and she was asking about business cards, and I don't generally work in the copy and print section, so I pulled out my Geek EZ business card and showed it to her. Like, this is the sort of stuff we could do if you get one pre-made, a design pre-made, because Adam made my design. And she was asking what a podcast commentator was, and I explained it to her, and I got into a conversation with the fact that she's wanting to set up her own podcast about stuff that her and her friend are doing, and I'm like, yeah, well, if you want to do that, I would recommend getting like a Yeti mic, something that's professional with a compressor on it.
And a pop cover.
And a pop
Yes,
cover.
pop cover would be good.
I'm using a headset, though. El Cheapo-ish.
Yeah, me too. I will one of these days, because I mean, there are other. What is it? Blue? Is that who makes it? Makes the
Blue,
Yeti?
yes.
Yeah, they've got the Snowball, which is, well, not I mean, the Yeti is like top of the line, but the Snowball, I was looking up the specs on the Snowball and some of the reviews and stuff, and it gets pretty good reviews.
It's not a bad one. I think Roland had one.
No, Roland has a Yeti.
Or was it Tade?
I think Wolfie has the Snowball.
He said he has a Yeti. He was trying to use his Turtle Beach headset, and it's not working. And unfortunately, much to my annoyance, Turtle Beach headsets can go bad. For the price that you're spending on them, they better not be going bad.
Boy, I'm glad, because I put that down too.
But don't get me wrong, I took care of it. It lasted, a good long time, but it should never have gotten quote-unquote plastic fatigue.
Fatigue.
Apparently he has both a Yeti and a Snowball.
So many jokes right there.
We just won't go there.
We won't go there.
Abominable Snowman.
Let's see. Other things that he mentioned here. On a parenthetical note, guess what shows up as a hidden item in the new God of War?
Mjolnir.
No. I actually talked about this last night, if you guys remember. Well, if Tank remembers.
I do not.
Hold on, let me put it up.
Excuse me while he whips this out.
The Shattered Gauntlet of Ages, an ancient relic of hell deemed too powerful to remain whole. Fragments of its former strength lie scattered around the realm. Once equipped, players can find 6 enhancements for it that attach to the talisman, each of which sounds somewhat familiar. There is Advari's Soul, Njord's Temporal Stone, the Eye of the Outer Realm, Ivaldi's Corrupted Mind, Ishard's Shard of Existence, and the Muspelheim Eye of Power. And upon clipping at least 3 of them, you can start shooting purple laser beams out of your hand.
I will say that you handle the Scandinavian. Oh my god, I can't even I can't even talk in English. Scandinavian words very well.
What, like Muspelheim?
A lot of people look at those words and go, "What do I know?"
Could be worse. Could be Welsh.
Could be.
You spend enough time listening to metal bands that actually sing in like Faroese and stuff, you'll learn to pronounce this stuff.
Mufflheim. Svartalheim. Where are you? I'm going to Svartalheim. Oh.
Not to be confused with Skaven. You're correct, Firefly. You do not confuse them with Skaven. That's a different creature all entirely.
Trying to think what else happened aside from Infinity War that was actually like big enough to worry about.
Well, we know this much. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not tied to Infinity War at all.
But I thought what's his name said that there will be ramifications. The dude that plays the general there.
No, Talbot?
Yeah, he said there were things. He goes, it will affect Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, as of right now, nope. Because
No.
the last episode, when it, if the events of Infinity War were going to take place and affect it, should have kicked in last episode, unless they're doing it this next one. But and I watched it. Nope, nothing whatsoever.
Well, we've seen leaked set shots from the next one.
Oh, really? I have not seen those.
Well, they show Ant-Man. They show Tony Stark in a S.H.I.E.L.D. outfit. And they show
Captain Marvel film.
No, this will be 4.
Avengers 4, yeah. And they show Captain America in his Avengers 1 outfit.
Interesting.
And
Somebody's messing with the time stone.
And everybody has these things on their hand that people have pointed out look very similar to the time-traveling gauntlet that Cable has. Just more streamlined.
Well, I did see that CBR and a few other places are running that whole Marvel may not bring the people back the way you want them to. I was like, actually, they have to. Because all of these movies have been slated to happen, and unless they're just going to completely reboot the entire universe, they're going to bring these guys back. So the clickbait, I didn't click on them. I just read the headlines, and I was like, yeah, clickbait. Cue Mad Max meme now. That's bait. Oh. So, should we just dive into it since we already dove into it for an hour on Saturday? But I think we need to hear what Tank thought of it first. Because I know what we all thought of it.
Well, based on what Chucky told me, you guys were all significantly disappointed.
Entertained but disappointed.
And I don't see why you're disappointed. Before we get into what I think about it.
Okay.
Because I haven't watched the video thing.
Oh, okay. My big disappointment was the predictability and the shocking similarities between Justice League and Infinity War.
Big CGI villain, MacGuffins.
MacGuffins that can end the universe or end existence as we know it, must find them all, has an army of CG aliens that move so fast you barely get a look at them.
Teenage superpowered comic relief who make pop culture references.
Yeah, let's see. What else we got?
What he did in the last one.
Let's see. The waiting for the strongest and the most powerful Avenger to appear at the end. I mean, the only thing different was that the Justice League won and the Avengers didn't.
But it's also split into 2 films.
Exactly. And originally, so was Justice League.
Let's also talk about the fact that Wakanda is secretly using Gungan technology.
Yes. But
Also, I dropped one of the set pictures in the cantina.
I see that. Again, I saw the movie twice. I mean, it can't be that bad. I could have told my wife after the first time I saw it, no, I'm not taking you. But no, I went with her. I saw it again, hoping that I would actually feel. I mean, again, I walked out with the same feeling. I was just like, oh, so many stupid choices. But it's not the masterpiece that everybody's claiming it to be.
I'm not going to claim it's a masterpiece. But I am definitely thrown off. I mean, Alistair explained elsewhere. So, I predicted everything was going to happen, blah, 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 blah.
And I've never read the comics.
Yes, but we know this was coming. None of this was a surprise.
No, well, okay, when you're predicting when, how, and who someone is going to die, down to the very minute...
I'm not seeing a problem here. The reason why is because overall, I felt that the story that they told, the pacing of it, was well crafted. Is it a masterpiece? No, I'm not going to claim it's a masterpiece. It is not the best film that they have done. Is it up there, in my opinion? Yeah, I'd say that it's definitely one of their higher note films. I've seen some reviews where people are like, oh, they completely disregarded everything that happened. Ragnarok, what happened to Valkyrie, yada, yada. Guys, there's another film. We don't know what's going to come in that, other than the fact that it's going to be undone.
Well, it is still a big plot hole that 3 characters who were on that ship at the end of Ragnarok, which literally is the beginning of Infinity War, weren't there suddenly.
Well,
which means like one of 2 things. They could just been straight up dead, or maybe Heimdall did use that dark power, one last time again, or he did it before and then he had one last shot and was able to send Hulk away again.
You gotta remember, he doesn't kill everybody. Thanos kills half of everybody. See, I wasn't too worried about Valkyrie and Korg and Meek, or whatever his name is, because he doesn't kill everybody. He usually leaves half of the. And they really were. That was the entire population of Asgard on that ship. So I would think that there was an evacuation of some sort, maybe, and maybe Valkyrie was leading it, and it was all good. And we'll find out in the next movie. It is a fairly large plot hole, but there are other choices and things that don't make sense to me. And I mean, when my wife catches them, it makes me go, huh. The time stone being the biggest one that gets me.
Which again, we may see more of that being put to work in the next film. I mean, we saw Strange putting it to work, seeing 14 million possibilities.
Yes, but he went forward. He went forward instead of going backwards. The gauntlet was almost off of Thanos' wrist. Strange was standing right there. Quill walks up and loses his mind. All he had to do was twist time back and stop Quill.
Except that he wasn't wearing it.
He still had it in his possession.
He had it, but it was in a pocket dimension, thereby inaccessible.
Okay, then let's see. How about open a portal, because he can do those, and we already saw it earlier when Wong did it to, what's his name? Cole, whatever his name is. Open a portal around his arm, and then close it. Boom. No more Infinity Stones. At least not on Thanos.
That's hypothesizing. It's possible that because of the energy that's released by the gauntlet and such, that wouldn't work. It just would straight up say, ignored.
Dormammu, I'm here to send you a friend.
Yeah, I mean, I got into this argument in a couple of chats on Facebook and stuff, where it was like, one guy's like, "Well, he's done it on a local scale. He's never used time on a cosmic scale." And one dude replied back, he goes, "He was in another dimension dealing with basically a god. I'd call that pretty cosmic." I was like, "Yeah." It's like, go back in time and, I don't know, stop Thanos from getting there. Just stop Thanos, get everybody together beforehand.
Well, if you want credit for your ideas, put it in a public chat.
Yeah, we got it right there.
Yeah. Now, Tank,
also,
yeah.
We're selling you a car.
Yeah, Tank. I didn't hate the film. I mean, I'm just saying, Winter Soldier is still the best for me. Always will be.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, I've seen several folks who just, screaming off the top of their lungs how they screwed it up, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, guys, there's another film.
See, I'm not saying they screwed it up.
Yeah, you have to take into account that there's another film that's going to, probably deal with some of these things that you're pointing out. Again, the way it was pacing and overall constructed, in my opinion, was perfectly well done for what they were going for. Compared to Justice League, it's a superior film.
Even though it's the same exact story.
Ish. You got to keep in mind, again, they're basing it on the comic, itself, which was way back before that. So, again, I'm not buying that one. That's not an excuse.
But it's not based on the comic. I've read the comics.
But it also is.
It's in theory, in passing, there's so much that the comic does that this movie doesn't.
Sure, because it was a much bigger thing for the comic than it is in the films, and it's different media, but it's still the same general story. So again, yeah, I'm not going to buy that one as an excuse. Oh, they did the same thing. Yeah, it's derivative. It's similar. I mean, come on. How many different stories can you do with trying to pull in your big group when you're kind of talking to Justice League that is going to actually get them to come together? You have to do something massive, and if it's going to involve, a big CGI villain dealing with a MacGuffin, well, that's a valid one, because
what's really funny
happened
is
at all the other times.
When Justice League was supposed to be a two-part movie, that Steppenwolf was the first, was the opening salvo, and then the second film would have been the Justice League going against Darkseid, and Warner Brothers mixed it. It would have been a much better film, and it would have. I mean, but the similarities involved, and I think it's not the fact that it's similar, because, like you said, it's very difficult to play that storyline or play a comic book film where all of these characters have to get together without some sort of big epic battle thing that they've got to do. And
in the case of Infinity War, we've been literally building up to it for 10 years.
True.
Again, we have no excuses not to have seen this coming.
I'm going to come back to that, because it cracked me up when I saw one of the articles on Comic Book Resources. But where was I going now?
No. Just let me quick wrap up.
Okay.
Just a quick wrap up. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
Essentially, I walked out of that satisfied and enjoyed it, and I'll happily see it again. I'll certainly own it, because, again, it's one of the best ones that they've made. Is it the best one? No, because I think we need to have the second film in order to truly quantify that, if it is truly the best, because those two will definitely be tied tightly together. It's a lot like the Lord of the Rings films. Individually, I'd say they are good. All together, it's a masterpiece. I know you have issues.
Once four. No, you know what though? Again, I'm not going to sit there and say, "Well, you gotta dislike this movie," because no, it's great that you finally. Because it was when we started talking on Saturday, and we were all on the same page. Had you been there, it would have been a different thing, because we would have been having the back and forth. But I was really expecting to get blasted, because I was like, I really walked out of there with, again, I was entertained. It had some really great moments in the film, really great moments, but on the whole, it was the similarities to the storyline, and what was getting me, was the similarities to the storyline of what was going on. with the big baddie and his ridiculous scheme to end existence by gathering all these things was one of the major screaming points. And this is where I get fanboy, and people are going to start claiming I'm a DC fanboy. It was one of the big complaints people had about Justice League because, well, it was just a stupid idea that this guy had to get these things and all that, when Thanos did the exact same thing in this film. And everybody was praising this movie's story. And I was like, but you just a year ago were yelling that this story was stupid.
Like, it'll go back to the investment that was put into it, the build-up for it. Whereas with Justice League, there really wasn't any build-up. It's like, oh, hey, by the way, big bad guy, and stop the world from being destroyed.
Okay, yeah, I mean, did they screw it up by not doing the two-part? Yeah, they did a monstrous screw-up on it. But, no,
Also,
I mean,
the stones have been led up to, over the course of these 10 years. Although I'm not saying that there isn't plot holes. For one being, wait a minute, you had one of the stones and yet you gave it to Loki. WTF?
Exactly. Why would you give somebody one of the stones? But
unless he was doing research at the time, he's like, okay, I can do without it for now. I don't know where X, Y, and Z is yet.
now, what's funny is I'm gonna go back to our conversation.
And no, Wolfie, it's not a plot hole.
The conversation we had on Saturday. I can't see Wolfie's thing right now. I have something blocking the chat in here. If you listen to our conversation on Saturday, and go listen to it, it's on YouTube, it's on our channel, go find it on our channel. We start off, and we name all the stuff that disappointed us, but by the time we got to the end of it, you could tell that all of us enjoyed the film enough that we were entertained, and we'll definitely go see the next one. It's not like we're not going to sign off and say, oh, well, the Marvel's dead for us, and blah, 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 like a lot of people do with the DC films. It's like the minute something bad happens in a DC film, and everybody's all of a sudden, oh, DC screwed, and I was like, I'm not saying that for Marvel. I mean, the thing's made $1 billion. I mean, it's a huge film. It's epic. It's whatnot. Has some. I mean, music is incredible. The entrances they have for certain characters. Captain America's entrance in that movie was perfect. That one scene was so perfect. Some of the other stuff. I mean, Wolfie brought up that Vision was neutered in this film, which is true.
True, although he was struck by, caught completely by surprise and apparently never managed to get fully recovered. So, I can kind of get that, but yeah, he should have been more powerful.
Yeah, Corvus Glaive is a pretty smooth criminal. Ha Oh, here we go. And this is, you can't deny this one. What's her name there? The Proxima? You can't deny that she looked bad.
Which one was that one?
The female alien chick that they're...
Oh, the enemy, whatever.
Yeah, her CG, while Thanos' CG 90% of the time was spot on, and there were times where he did float and had no weight, but she just visually looked bad. She was obviously not a real thing. Whereas the other characters, for somehow they pulled it off. Even Glaive, they pulled him off and stuff CG wise, even though he is just freakishly thin and stuff like that. But she just nope. But there are good points. I'm not going to say it was bad. I don't want to be, and you know what? Call me a fanboy. Say, oh, you're just a DC fanboy. No, I'm actually just a fan.
I'm not going to do that.
No, other people will. I'm a fan of comics, and I'm a fan of comic book movies. I like them all. I mean, there are parts of the Green Lantern that I actually enjoy. Just not the whole movie. And as much as I dislike Rob Liefeld's comic book characters, I really enjoy Deadpool.
Yeah, that's because, people can make a good film out of it using Ryan Reynolds. The fact that he truly encapsulates that character.
Actually, I think Mark Strong did a much better... Oh, of Deadpool? Going back to Green Lantern, Mark Strong owned Sinestro. When I was like, well, he's perfect. He is like the perfect Sinestro. But
Having pointing this out to Wolfie, he's mentioning about the Fey Gauntlet being a major plot hole. I don't think it was. Because first things first, got to keep in mind, they got like Mjolnir made, who knows, thousands of years ago. When was the last time anybody visited those guys?
I'm pretty sure the fake gauntlet is a left hand, whereas the actual gauntlet is on the right hand, right?
No.
It's backwards. I have backwards. Infinity Gauntlet's on the left hand.
It's on Thanos' left hand, yes. I
Okay.
don't know about the fake one, honestly, because I don't remember. Anyway, so again, they haven't visited these guys. He thought it was good to go when yeah, we'll go visit the dwarves. We'll get this taken care of. And Rocket's going, wait, that place exists? So again, these people don't know how long it's been. For all we know, Thanos, went there. They created one, and he basically had a fake one left somewhere else for Thor, or not Thor, but for Odin, whoever, to find. And then he paid the dwarves a visit, and that dwarf's been sitting there for 10,000 years or something with his hands covered in Uro metal.
Yeah, we don't know
It's
how
no wonder
long.
It's no wonder he's a little peeved when Thor shows up. Because nobody showed.
The interplay between characters that are normally not like the not so much the Tony Stark Peter Quill thing, but I think Thor and Rocket were a much better team up.
Oh, it was. I just enjoyed the look, absolute look on, Robert Downey Jr.'s face of, I'm so done with these guys, because he had Quill and he had Peter, and both of them were just like talking on the same level, and he's just going, oh God, they're both the same. You literally could see it in his face.
Like Footloose? What, is it still the greatest movie ever? It never was.
Like they all talking. They both talking pop culture references. I need to get out of here. But the interplay between Rocket and Thor was better. Yes.
Alistair, you back yet? I guess not. One of the big things that we all agreed on Saturday was the ending. Just even though it was emotional, and Peter's thing, which come to find out that was all ad-libbed. That is so awesome.
Nice.
That he did that all on his own, which kind of nullifies everybody thinking that it was his spider sense that was setting off, that was going haywire, which is why he could tell every little thing that was going on with him. But he just kind of made that up on the go. I guess the Russo brothers told him what was going to happen and just go, and he made it all up. So, and it's beyond touches. It's 10 times more emotional than Groot, which was kind of sad. But the hollowness of their deaths, quote unquote, is anybody that's read the comic book knows that they're just in the Soul Stone.
Or at the very least, they are currently not available.
Exactly. They're not dead. They're just they're what was it, 404? But
404 data not found?
Yeah, their data not found.
Oh.
They're not found. It's like, hey, where's Bucky? I don't know, 404. Data not found. I don't know. It was just it's hollow in the fact that they've announced everything that's coming after the movie, coming next. So I mean, we've already got the announcement for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. With Chris Pratt already saying that he's seen the script and it's incredible, which, okay, you've seen the script, it's incredible. That means your character's coming back. Peter Parker has to come back because Spider-Man, the sequel to Homecoming, is coming up. So unless they're going with Miles Morales right off the bat, Peter's coming back.
Well, we kind of knew this anyway, considering they announced that these other films were going to be.
Yeah, which made the end ring hollow.
But then again, we knew that was coming because there is part 2. So
true.
Is it emotional? Yes. Does it give you feels? Sure. I'm not going to deny that. And now you can look forward to the next one and see how do they bring him back, because we don't know yet. Someone's got to wear it. Probably Adam Warlock. because that's who did it originally. Of course, I don't know how they're going to introduce him, but we'll figure it out. We'll see it.
Yeah, we're definitely. I mean, he was definitely missing because him and Silver Surfer were the catalyst in the original book. So they're the ones that started it all.
But no Silver Surfer this time.
No Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom was a pretty big deal in the original.
Oh man, the Secret War encounter between him and Thanos was amazing. Recently saw the panels again that someone basically screenshotted. It's like, what was it? Thanos is chastising Doom in his white armor or whatnot because he's got the power of the Beyonder. It's like, this is all you do? No, you do not rule as a god. I rule as a god when I had the Infinity Gauntlet. Oh, do you have one now? I don't need it. I am enough. And then Doom proceeds to punch him through the chest, rips his spine out, and says, apparently not. It was a pretty epic moment of badassery.
Yes, it was.
We're not going to get that here.
Now, I will say, as the DC fanboy that I am, Darkseid would totally kick Thanos' ass.
Mega Beam.
But with or without...
Both.
Well, because, different reality. The effects of the Infinity Gauntlet have been thoroughly...
They're nullified in the DC universe.
Well, not only that, but it's been shown that the Infinity Gauntlets cannot affect beings from another universe.
Can't affect beings. You can fire off a blast of power because energy's energy, and yeah, you'll still kill somebody from another galaxy with it. But if you're trying to you know what, I'm just going to erase you. No, you won't. It can't touch me.
No,
can't touch this.
But Darkseid's power alone, he wouldn't even have to come close to Thanos.
Just a Mega Beam him.
Yeah, he would Omega Beam him from half a mile away, and he was just like, "Yep, you're gone. See ya." And he's like, "Yeah, you're not going to no Soul Stone. You are just being zipped. Like you don't exist. You're now Ash."
What does Pokemon have to do with this?
Now I'm just picturing Darkseid with a Pokeball. It's like, I've caught a Thanos.
See, who's that Pokemon?
It's Thanos.
That even sounds like one. The Wild Thanos.
A wild Thanos has appeared. He uses Infinity Gauntlet. It was not effective.
We play
it.
With this and the disappointments I had, but with how I felt things happen and stuff like that, and how I saw it, and the disappointment in the storyline. It probably also stems from the disappointment that Justice League was cut in half, and they didn't allow it to go the way Zack Snyder originally wanted to, which would have opened up the door for Darkseid. And I think it was more because of the fact they were like, well, it's too soon for Darkseid. I was like, I think if you're going to do that, it's too soon for Steppenwolf. Why bring Steppenwolf into play? Why have all the Omega symbols all over Batman versus Superman? That is Darkseid's symbol, not Steppenwolf's. Steppenwolf was his foot soldier. But
I did like the reappearance of Red Skull.
Oh, yeah. See, we called that.
Yep.
We called Loki's death. We called, even though Loki was not the first to die.
I don't remember us calling anything.
Oh, no, dude.
I remember because we talked about it before the film came out. I was like, what are our predictions? Who's going to die? So on and so forth. I thought Cap was going to die. He didn't bite it.
I remember when we talked about it, I said Loki will be the first one dead. I said he's going to hand over the Tesseract, and Thanos is going to kill him. And that's exactly what happened.
Although I don't think he's dead.
I don't either. After
emphasizing God of Mischief, no.
Yes, that was what I caught that the second viewing. He emphasized when he says, "I am blah 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 blah, God of Mischief," and that's as the blade came down, and Thor. They cut to Thor, who sees it, and every time they've cut to Thor like that, it was an illusion of Loki, and all the other times he's done it in the films. And I was like, oh, he's not dead. That wasn't him. He wasn't really there.
Though he's selling it pretty thoroughly.
Yes.
Is kind of buying it.
He sold it pretty thoroughly in Dark World.
That's why
Thor
Thor's
believed
still,
it.
Yeah, Thor's still. It's like this might be true this time, but he's still doubting.
I tell you what, if Alistair, what you said on Saturday,
That
if
happens.
that comes to pass, where the final blow is that, dude, dude, I will.
Awesome.
That would be beyond awesome. Tank, just so you know, Alistair had mentioned that he had hoped that when Darkseid was sitting there staring at the sunlight, Darkseid, when Thanos was sitting there, staring at the sunset with that little self-satisfied smirk on his face, that a blade burst through his chest with a voiceover just a voiceover of "I told you you'd never be a god," and then they just cut to black. But that would nullify the next film.
Not necessarily.
True.
Because, I mean, even in the comics, Thanos is defeated and someone else gets the gauntlet.
In the comics, he actually took it off himself. He's like, I don't need it anymore. I'm done. I've achieved my goal. And then Nebula picked it up, and because Nebula basically, I guess, not talked him into it, but certainly had a hand in that. And she's like, I'm going to now restore myself to my original form, and I'm going to undo everything. And, well, that wasn't her original plan, but that's what happened.
Banish you to the other side of the galaxy.
Yeah, but she goes nuts because of it.
Yes, she does. And then Warlock gets it.
Yes. Much to the chagrin of many other of the heroes. They're like, I don't know about this guy having it. And I got to say, he talked down to the other. I mean, he constantly talked. I mean, it's like, I realize you're a powerful character, but if you really see everybody as ants the way you do, kind of a jerk.
Yeah, and Wolfie posted a picture here showing Darkseid wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. I remember that comic.
Yes.
Found it useless.
Found it useless, and he discarded it.
Yeah, I mean, they said, well, we've evaluated, and in another reality it'd be really powerful, but here it does nothing. This is useless. Get it off of my planet, and all of you be gone with it. Because Darkseid don't play that game. So, yeah, overall, good film. Definitely worth more than one watching. I'd like to watch it in IMAX just to see the difference. Although I noticed and heard about the Movie Pass rules changed, so you can't watch it again. There are no repeat viewings anymore. And Dead Air?
Sorry.
Dead air.
I had a second conversation going on over here.
Okay, I was just making sure it wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. I caught half of what you said. My apologies. That happens when someone walks in the room.
Well, I was just pointing out Movie Pass has changed.
Yes, it has. And very funny, the timing.
And I don't understand why, because
Incoming.
frankly, it shouldn't matter. You know, I mean, the same amount of money goes out regardless. They've already narrowed it down. You can't do IMAX on it. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's a badger.
Badger. Can you be spoiled, Badger?
He's seen it too.
Oh, okay, good.
Well, he was the first to see it, and he was like, I can't talk to anybody.
Why? When did you see it?
Thursday
he actually
night before it came
saw
out.
it Thursday before I saw it, or you saw it.
I saw it at 8 o'clock on Thursday.
I saw it at 7.
You suck. Beat me by an hour.
It was also 7 his time. I think his time is an hour.
Where are you at?
Wyoming Mountain Time.
Oh.
So you may have saw it at the same time.
So we saw it at the same time. No, I saw it first.
Where are you at?
Ohio.
Ohio.
Ohio,
Yeah.
that's still Eastern.
Round to the sides, tall in the middle.
Either way.
I had to explain real quick to Firefly that you are not the Tupolev creation. You are actual Badger.
Actual Badger.
I am known as Badger Clancy.
Badger, 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 Badger.
Here's what happens when a badger reads a few too many Tom Clancy books and becomes a secret agent.
Ironically enough, the name Badger has stuck with me since elementary school. And in high school, if you look at my freshman year of high school, my name in the book does not say, my full name. It says Badger Sorensen. People legitimately
You just gave out your last
my
name.
first name. People thought my actual first name was Badger.
It's a bad thing. Everybody knows mine.
It's because you created an enterprise.
That's true.
He didn't create an enterprise. He created the enterprise. The sexiest.
Would you stop being a fanboy?
I'm
It's
not.
the sexiest. The Enterprise A is the sexiest. Or the refit.
Badger has issues with the original Enterprises.
I do, and I don't know why.
Nah, there's something about the lines on that ship that is just so. Yes. But you totally derailed us, man. We were totally just ripping on that movie. I'm
We
kidding.
weren't really ripping.
We weren't ripping. I mean,
Kinda.
sort of.
So what did you think of it?
Entertaining but disappointing.
Why was it disappointing?
There's
They-
an entire
now-
30-minute long video you can watch for that.
And there's an entire 30 minutes of discussion here.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Now,
Cliff notes.
something that's in. I don't want to. I mean, because I beat that horse dead on Saturday and on in our conversation that's on YouTube was the removal of death from
Thanos' backstory.
Thanos' backstory.
Yeah.
It makes It makes what he is doing seem off.
Almost
Yeah.
noble.
It's almost a noble cause. I mean, it's a noble cause in his mind, but when it was to please death, it showed you how insane he really is.
It really showed the Mad Titan.
Yeah.
Well, considering that they led up to it anyway in the first Avengers film, to go after Earth is to court death, and he smiles about it.
Yeah. And it was like, because, and I've made this point, in a world where a dude with a metal arm can pick up a talking raccoon who's firing a machine gun, you can have an entity that is death. And they just nullified it. And I think that it just changes it enough. That's where it plays into the ridiculous side that a lot of people had with the Justice League aspect of it, of Steppenwolf wanting, and I don't think a lot of people understood what Steppenwolf was trying to do. I think a lot of people missed that because it was such a quick little throwaway in the movie that he didn't harp on it enough, which I think he should have, where he was trying to get back to Darkseid's good graces because he was cast out. That Thanos' reasoning that he just needs to destroy half the universe because balance. It was like, really that makes sense.
That villain arc has been done before. It's been done to death, and I think you're right. I mean, if they had stuck with the death storyline, it would have been a much better movie. But it would have been a much better Marvel movie. Now, you think about people who have never heard of the storyline of death. And to them, they love it. They absolutely loved it. It was a great movie, fantastic, well made, good job, pat in the back, go home. But you think about the people like us that know the history of these comics. It's like, that's not the Mad Titan. The Mad Titan, he's fucking nuts. Sorry,
That's fine.
He's
We've already
freaking
dropped one
nuts.
today.
He's freaking nuts. He's a little crazy. He's obsessed with death. He wants to get in her, like you said, her good graces. He's in love with her, or it, whatever.
Her, it's a her. In the Marvel universe, death is a woman.
That's right. But they took away from that, and I admit that part is a little disappointing.
In
But
the books, though,
in the
it's
end-
also she spurns him over and over and over again, which just drives him more and more insane. He doesn't know how to please her, and what is he doing wrong? While I think the way it was written in the comics might not have worked on screen, they would have had to move things around, because if you go back and read the original comics, the way he talks to death and the way he just talks, it's very written on a 5th grade level, and they would have had to adult it a little bit and figure out a way to pull that off. But I think they could have, and that was a disappointment for me. I was like, yeah, because now he seems just as nuts, or it's just as ridiculous a storyline as Steppenwolf's, and that's another one of those things that it's like people are praising this, yet Steppenwolf's idea was stupid. I was like, it's just the same.
Yeah, and I think what people wanted, what they wanted is they wanted people to empathize with the villain, which, okay, I get it. That's the usual storyline nowadays, is that every villain, they got to find a way to empathize with them. A villain just can't be mindlessly obsessed with something, and because that's too 1990s. Well, yeah, that's when it was written. The 80s and 90s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. That was Thanos. He didn't really have cunning plans. And most of his arcs took forever to get up to the sequences with death.
Yeah, almost 10 years.
Yeah, and yes, the
you see what I did there?
Yeah, cinematic universe has been around for 10 years, yes. But they can't have Thanos in every movie.
No.
They can't. There's just no way. So, in a way, they decided to... I feel that they decided to go with this storyline because they couldn't fit all of that story of, his obsession with death into the movies. Now, I'm not saying that they couldn't. I'm saying that's probably their justification for it, is that they probably felt it was easier to do this than to come up with a story with death.
Unless that's actually something that's going to be revealed in the next film. That it's actually not trying to do balance. He actually is obsessed with death, because now that he's done the thing he said he wanted to do, it's like, oh, my dream was just to see the sunrise on a peaceful blah blah blah. Now what? Turns out,
watch death show up.
He's going to want something else. He still
What
has.
if instead of that, death shows up because she's pissed that the balance has been messed up,
and he's just getting her attention
in a bad way?
See that if they do it that's here we go. You know what? We're almost as bad as CBR.
The difference is we're not going to post about it with clickbait.
That's true. That would be an awesome way to go around it. And
I'm literally grasping at straws.
Yes. Oh my god. Did you see my post?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to put this out there. One of my favorite pastimes of late is seeing Adam comment on other geeky and nerdy groups, because he has no chill.
None. No chill whatsoever when it comes to that crap.
Release the salt.
Like,
it's not even salt, dude. It's when CBR is the worst for it. When they post the most clickbait, ridiculous article, I won't even read the article. I'll read the headline and I'll find something to complain about. Or I'll just what did they sit there and say?
This throwaway line revealed the secret of Rocket's fate.
Oh, there was that one, but the one about 15 things or whatever about that were right under a fan's noses they didn't realize that was leading to Thanos. And I was like, really? And I had to decide, I was like, wow, I am so glad you guys explained this for me. Because, when he showed up in the first Avengers movie, it didn't sink in. And then when he showed up a couple of more times, and I just thought those were fan service, and they were playing with us. If you were not here to explain this to me, I would never have guessed that Thanos was going to be the bad guy in Infinity War.
What, he was the bad guy?
Yeah. I mean, it's stuff like that.
I thought he was just, an antagonist, and he's really the savior of the universe.
Yeah, the bad guy was actually Peter Quill.
Thanos, savior of the universe.
Glad somebody went there.
Thanos is not immortal, is he?
As far as I'm aware, no. I think Titans can die.
Actually, he has died. He died in Infinity. Not what was the one after Infinity Gauntlet? What was the arc? There was Gauntlet.
Okay, I'm back.
There were 3 in that arc, right? There were 3 stories that fell hand in hand. In the second one, he actually had to commit suicide because the big insect or cockroach guy there, Annihilus, transported him to a. Can you tell I really enjoyed these books? He transported him to nothing. So Thanos killed himself so he would reappear on death's doorstep and be reformed. So he's immortal that way because she put him back together and brought him back to life. I didn't know death could do that, but hey.
Let's see. Do they have anything about? So they mentioned place of birth, the universe it came from. Yeah. I'll keep digging.
So here's my question then.
Yes.
It sounds like a lot of people are focused on the cons. What about the pros?
Oh,
we talked about those. We talked about the parts of the film that were, 1, well put together, 2, funny.
Yeah.
That's a man.
I was just obsessed with Hulk saying no the entire time. Just acting like a child.
Now, they lied. Straight up lied in the trailers. And I thought it was one of the more cunning lies. That the first trailer they ever had, Hulk is running behind everybody. Yep. And in the movie, it was the Hulkbuster. I was like...
we didn't actually see that scene.
We didn't see that scene. And, well, if you look at the toys, now I know toys usually have no bearing on what's in the film, but in the toys, there is a Hulk that busts out of the Hulkbuster costume.
I think that's going to be in the next film. That scene that we saw, where they're all running forward, and we even have War Machine flying overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't happen in the film at all.
No, it didn't.
That's the next film.
But Bucky is in that scene.
Uh-huh.
Well, Bucky's gone.
Bucky was the first.
Unless they're actually spoiling a little bit for the next film.
That's true.
Well, and, yeah. I thought it was a great movie. They had some things that were, I agree, questionable, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought the storyline was so damn well put together. I mean, you've got Thor getting his hammer back, or Stormbreaker, and just kicking ass as soon as he comes into the Bifrost, or comes out of the Bifrost, and just like,
because he needed it as a focus.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is, I was asking my friend, I'm like, dude, Tony Stark is stranded on Titan. He's got no one with Nebula. It's like, well, how the hell are they going to get back? And he's like, dude, Thor has the Bifrost.
Yeah, but Milano 2 is there too.
Who?
Isn't the Guardian ship there?
Yes.
So she knows how to fly the Milano.
That is true. I forgot about that.
Well,
isn't it the Milano 3 at this point?
Is it?
No, it's the same one. They repaired it. They were repairing it in the second Guardians film.
That was the Milano too. So yeah.
Yep. Also, he's immortal.
Who is Tony Stark?
Thanos, like all Eternals, is immortal in the sense that he is immune to all known diseases and infections and is immune to the effects of aging.
But he's not.
He's not immune to death.
But he's not an Eternal.
He is.
Not in the MCU. He's a Titan. Just a regular, generic Titan.
I misspoke on Saturday, and I actually put it in there. Titan in the comic books is the moon of Saturn, not Jupiter. That was me stupidly thinking. Just got my planets mixed up.
Yeah, they're all just big balls of gas.
Supposed to be? That's true. Is Titan in the MCU a planet just called Titan, or is it supposed to be the moon of Saturn?
I think it's just a planet called Titan.
Okay. And why is Asgard called a planet when it's just a floating city?
It's another realm.
And where's Dormammu going to come into play in this one? Because
another reality.
He's got a factor.
on a different plane of his existence.
Yeah, that's true. He is, isn't he?
And according to MCU's, he's immortal.
Who?
Thanos.
Oh.
As of right now, he is immortal. Titan, eternal, whatever. He's immortal.
And he's the Prince of the Universe. So. Wonder if he has the blood of kings in him. Really? Nothing? These are going nowhere for you guys?
He is the mother of dragons.
No, that's Fin Fan Foom. Or Fin Fang Foom.
I want Fing Fang Foom so badly.
We have to wait for a Fantastic Four movie to get Fin Fang Foom.
No, not necessarily. He was also an Iron Man villain.
True. Actually, he was Iron Man's first, wasn't he?
He was Iron Man's first, but then he became a subordinate of the Mandarin.
Yes. I don't know. Maybe with the Fox merger, I'm wondering how much in advance they knew the Fox merger was coming. Because they have really set the playing field for the other characters to come into play.
So here's a question really quick. Did they ever say whether Venom takes place in Tom Holland's timeline or no?
I heard Tom Holland was on set.
Oh, was he?
I don't know if he's in the movie, but he was on set.
We'll know if you know, whenever you see Tom Holland in a public event for the next couple months, he's got a muzzle.
Yeah, he'll have a muzzle. That's exactly what's going to happen too.
You know,
We all know.
I really do enjoy the fans that take things in films and make it better. Like that guy that went out and using like $50 or $500, $50 software, removed Henry Cavill's mustache better than they did in the beginning of Justice League, because that was horrific. That was probably the worst part about that movie, was that opening scene where his lips looked like they were glued together. But there was somebody that took the picture of Venom, a still frame shot of Venom from the trailer, and then digitally painted over it to make it look like Venom from the comic books, and made it so much better. It's like, yeah, how come he doesn't look like that?
Oh, no.
I'm still up in the air with that movie, but another trailer might, kind of like Solo was like one of those, I really don't want to see Solo. And then the trailer came out. It's like, oh man, I got to see Solo. Damn you.
No. GOG, I think it's God Games or whatever.
Good old games.
Has released the digitally released Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer.
Oh,
PC.
really?
I need it.
How much?
I don't know. Let me go find out.
It's probably, I mean, if it's anything like their other ones, it's anywhere between $9 and $15.
For the record, so just to look at numbers, because we do that on occasion, Box Office Mojo shows a worldwide score of cash for Avengers at $808 million.
What is it?
We haven't even hit a full week yet, and it's almost hit $1 billion.
Yes, it is the fastest grossing movie ever.
Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
$8.49.
Guess what I'll be buying after the show.
Yeah, and guess where most of the money came from, though?
China.
It's definitely from foreign, not U.S. We're not even half of it.
I added my $50. Seen it twice.
Oh, good grief! You know, actually, it wasn't China, because they haven't mentioned that yet. The one who did, the country that has seen it the most, the United Kingdom. They've paid the most into it currently.
Now I'm very curious. The only two characters that we saw, or three characters we saw, die on screen in that film. Here's the spoilers. If you've been listening this long and didn't realize we were spoiling the movie, we're spoiling the movie. We're Heimdall, Loki, and Gamora. We have our theories on Loki. Heimdall's pretty much a done deal. But Gamora plays very heavily, not only in the Guardians, but in the after stories dealing with Thanos and Adam Warlock. And where was, what's his name? Was it Pip? Pip the dwarf? He was non-existent as well.
I'm not sure who Pip is.
He's one of the one of Adam Warlock's cohorts.
Yeah, Pip the Troll.
Troll. That's it. He's a troll. It's him, Gamora.
Did we see him before?
No, he's never been in any of the films. Just in the books. But he's in the Infinity Gauntlet series of books.
Who, Pip or Adam Warlock?
Pip. And well, Adam Warlock is like the entire story of the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, his cocoon was in one of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Second one.
Yeah. And his race was shown at the end of the second one too.
Well, it was also hinted at in earlier films that he was in the collector's, collection.
Yeah.
People, yeah, I don't know where they're going to run with that. And then we got Captain Marvel coming out.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Bring back the Son of Cole. Wait a second. I remember Saturday we were talking that we had been talking about how the split between the MCU and the MCTVU, or the MTVU, which is Marvel Television Universe, has been, with this film, unless they do a whole lot of something, is going to be very prevalent and very, very obvious that it's two different universes now and it's separated. But we talked about the 76 characters or whatever, between 65 and 76 characters on screen in one movie. We've only got, right now, what are we at, 30-something characters? I think when you add it all up, not even that.
I thought I heard someone say that the Runaways was actually the only one that actually was part of the MCU.
Well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was up until Civil War. Not Civil War, Winter Soldier, and then it kind of veered on its own thing. Daredevil and all those, they still reference it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Cloak and Dagger comes out. I don't know if they're going to reference it in that one.
Sure, that looks pretty good.
With the fourth movie coming into play, and knowing that S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be playing a much bigger role in the fourth film, with the spoilers from the set, and with knowing that Samuel L. Jackson's coming back, that Hank Pym will be in it, that Janet Van Dyne is going to be in the movie. This is all spoiled by Sebastian Stan, that they're in the film. It still doesn't make up 76 characters that we've seen before on screen. The only way to pull that off is to start bringing characters in from other areas. Either it's from the Fox acquisition or from the TV universes.
Can we all agree that we need an Iron Fist and Luke Cage combo show?
Yes.
We need Heroes for Hire. Those two are hilarious together.
Yes. Sweet.
They work well together. The actors work well together.
Yeah, the actors work really well together.
And you know what? Luke Cage is still by far the best of all the Netflix series.
Oh, he was. That was fantastic. I love that one.
It's the best. It's got probably the best show, and it's got the best soundtrack. It's the best one. While Daredevil rocked, the first season rocked. The second season was kind of touch and go. Luke Cage was strong from the get-go. It was good. It was then we won't talk about Iron Fist.
He's from Kunlun.
Yes.
Just thought I'd let you know.
Wait, where again?
Kunlun.
Kung Fu?
Kung Lung. It was right there. And now it's
Lo.
not right there anymore. It was there in the mountains, and it's not there anymore.
Swing high, Kung Lo.
And he's the immortal Iron Fist that gets his butt handed to him in every fight he has ever fought.
Doesn't mean that he's the invincible Iron Fist. It's a
I don't know.
mantle.
If you've got the power in your one hand, and you're basically one punch man, and you get walked all over in every fight you're in, you're kind of just
You're still
Yeah, I'm
going to
not gonna
take
be
a
impressed.
punch, dude.
Yeah, but
He's going to get to that point where he can actually have two fists glowing, because that's the actual power of Iron Fist. You know,
double fisting.
he's in the comics. He's literally unstoppable. He's great.
And he's not to that point yet.
When does Aquaman come out?
I don't know.
This year, December.
Oh, is it that late?
Cannot wait.
Comes out that late in the year? Why did I think it was coming out late summer?
I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah, December 21st. Huh. Man, we're gonna have to wait a long time for a trailer.
Well, we didn't even get anything hinting at what might be the next Star Wars anthology film.
Oh, the new trilogy coming out.
We
No.
won't hear anything until we will not hear anything about that until the hype from Solo has died down.
They should still start to be dropping some trailers, or at least some kind of teasers, and they haven't done anything yet. And no, we're not talking about the trilogy. We're talking about the third of the anthologies.
Which they might not do. There's still rumors floating around that that might not happen.
Why they? If I can't imagine Solo's gonna bomb.
I don't know.
It could, but I'm not. I really don't see it bombing.
As long as they spin it off into a Lando movie, we're all good.
Well,
We're not gonna-
the separate Star Wars movies tend to do better than the actual episodical ones. Like I'm sorry, but Force Awakens, I don't know. That should never have happened. And same thing with Last Jedi. I did not like them. I didn't hate them. I just didn't like them. I'll watch them once, and that's about it.
It's funny. I think I've seen The Last Jedi close to like 25 times now.
That it was better than the first. I'll tell you that. It was better than Force Awakens. Way better.
I mean, nothing's gonna come close to my original Star Wars count, but that's in the thousands. We're talking multiple viewings in one day, multiple upon multiple viewing. I mean, it's like pretty sure I had that sucker on a loop for like a week straight.
I mean,
Badger,
any movie with Jar Jar Binks is going to be fantastic.
Not that one.
just to
The
point out,
original.
Badger, you're also mistaken.
What's that?
The anthology films have not done better than the inline trilogy films.
No.
Rogue One has not matched even The Last Jedi.
Well, no.
Even though it was a better movie.
Money-wise, no. You're right.
From a money
Money-wise,
perspective,
then
Force
no.
Awakens crushes.
All of them.
Well, not all of them. It got a box office of $2.068 billion, whereas The Last Jedi was $1.332 billion, and Rogue One was $1.056. And geez, the amount of money, man! Could you just shave a little bit off? That'd be great.
In the money. Now, what was with the basically, that was like giving yourself a reach around with Lucasfilm congratulating Marvel, wasn't it?
Kind of,
Yeah.
sort of. I mean,
It
they're
was
all under
like-
the same umbrella.
Yeah. It's like, hey, look, you used some of our stuff. Way to go. Misa go to Wakanda. Misa set up S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh dear God!
Dude, it was the same thing. Big shield, guys with shields.
No. I mean, I caught that. I'm just now picturing the film. Why'd you plant that in my head?
Now I'm picturing Jar Jar Binks with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Misa the Gungan Panther.
Ha!
Misa got Grand Army.
Gungan forever!
God damn it.
Oh no! Oh no! Then you gotta have what's his name? Oh, now the actor's name went right out the window for me. Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker doing the Boss Nass face jiggle,
Oh jeez.
or
Now
vice
I'm
versa.
picturing it.
Otto Gungan forever!
Uh,
Naboo
Speaking-
forever.
Black Panther comes out in 2 weeks on Blu-ray. It's out on digital right now.
Because they are not wasting time.
No, that is one thing that the home video market, I mean, they don't waste time.
I'm a little disappointed, honestly, because now you don't get to build up that suspense. Like, oh, I can't. I'm gonna get it soon. Because I've waited so long. Well, now it's like, just wait a few weeks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure The Last Jedi was the shortest we've ever seen. Movie came out in December, was on Blu-ray in March.
It's pretty quick.
That is a really fast turnaround. I mean, if you're going to do that, might as well just release it on Blu-ray at the same time. Go see it in the theaters and then come home and watch it again. Because there are movies you have to see on the big screen.
It's true.
I mean, it's like, okay, well, Dumb and Dumber is on the big screen. You can own it the same day. Yeah, okay, I'll own it because I don't need to go to the movies to see Dumb and Dumber. I don't like seeing comedies in the movie theater anyway because you laugh and then you miss the next joke.
There was one exception. Central Intelligence with The Rock. I actually really enjoyed seeing that in theater.
Oh, and I had, from a friend of mine, a glowing review of Super Troopers 2.
I need to see it.
I can wait. I'll wait till I can sit and laugh in my house with a rewind button so I don't miss anything.
Well, out here in Wyoming, Northeast Wyoming, they did not release it at all in any of the theaters, almost in the entire state. The closest theaters that released it were in Billings, Montana, not even Rapid City. I think it was Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Denver, Colorado.
Well,
so either way, you had to drive
1,500 people
7 to
that
8
live
miles.
in that state gonna do.
I know, right? You had to drive at least 6 hours in any direction to go see it.
Wow. Yeah, no movie's worth that.
That's why I say Wyoming sucks. Hopefully I'm moving
What is
soon.
Wyoming known for?
Coal.
Being Wyoming.
We provide 80% of the United States' coal.
And we're trying to get away from it.
Yep, and so the state's struggling. And we provide a lot of meat, too, a lot of cattle ranchers.
No, that's a given.
Well, I laugh when the left coasters and the east and the right coasters are always, and when I say those guys, I'm talking about the city dwellers, Philadelphia, New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco. They use the term flyover states, and they use it in a very derogatory way sometimes. Oh, those are just flyover states. Do you realize that if 80% of those flyover states decided that they'd had enough of your crap, you'd starve to death in a month?
Yep.
They still got Florida, which produces actually more cattle than the other states. Or at least it did. I don't know if it's still does.
Wyoming has more cattle than people living in it.
Well, that's kind of a given. That doesn't surprise me in the least, man.
No. I hear it's beautiful, though.
Well, no, hold on that statement. Wyoming east side is ugly as shit.
East side.
Wyoming west side is unbelievably gorgeous and beautiful.
Is that when you do the two W's, West Side, Wyoming?
No, well, God damn it. No, that's
throw up the gang
once
sign.
you hit the Bighorn Mountains. Once you hit the Bighorn Mountains, that's when it starts getting absolutely gorgeous. Like right past Sheridan. Oh, that's when it's beautiful. Because then you're about to hit Yellowstone.
I mean, if I was independently wealthy, and because I've had this question posed to me, it's like, well, I'm born and raised in New York City. I've lived up and down the East Coast, and now I'm in Ohio, which is the furthest west I've ever lived. Not the furthest west I've ever been, but the furthest west I've ever lived. And it's like, where would you live? I was like, I would own a cabin in the middle of Montana on a lake somewhere, just doing nothing.
Raising rabbits?
No, not raising rabbits. Just as long as there was a lake where I could go fishing.
Reference?
I know, I got it. I'd have a big fat American wife who would cook them for me. Boy, I was expecting a dirty look on that one, and I didn't get it. I don't even know if she heard me.
You probably should let that one go.
I'm going to let it go. Oh, no, there it is.
It was delayed.
Delayed reaction.
He's sleeping on the couch.
What is? It's a movie quote. We're not saying.
No,
that.
I'm gonna be proud of it. I'm gonna say it right now. My wife and I have been on this diet, and she's down 35, 40 pounds. It's all good.
She's
Yeah,
down
I
35,
can't-
40 pounds. I'm up 50. I don't know what's going on here.
No, dude, well, no, I have stagnated at the 51-pound lost mark. I cannot seem to drop the last 10 pounds that I want to drop.
So then you're plateauing.
I have plateaued. I got to figure out something. I got to start exercising.
Yes.
Yes. But, no, I can't say fat American wife. This is because it's not nice. No Aquaman. Which are we looking forward to more? The Incredibles 2 or Solo?
I'd say it's about equal.
It's probably Solo for me.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh no, man! I love The Incredibles.
Sure, but I've never watched The Incredibles.
What?
What?
It just didn't happen.
That needs to
You
change.
gotta go rent it. Rent that movie, man.
I'll get around to it. I've been telling myself that for years.
It's one of Pixar's best.
I'm sure it is. I just haven't seen it.
Solo. What's that? We got 2 weeks, 3 weeks for Solo, right? 25th.
Yeah.
Yes, and there was another film that comes out also this month that I can't think of what it is right now.
Deadpool.
Yeah, that's it. Deadpool.
Yes.
What comes out in June? Anything?
I'm sure there is. My brain's just blanking out.
Quick, where's
Let's see. Wolfie's not here, so
I know.
Jurassic World, Incredibles 2,
Jurassic World? Looks good.
Upgrades coming out, which looked entertaining. Ocean's 8,
Yeah, it's a prequel.
Uncle Drew, Sicario. Hotel Artemis, I don't know what that is.
Wonder what these studios that put out the smaller films in the summer. I mean, do they just dread it? Because they know that their tiny little film is going to get squashed?
Maybe not. If they manage to get, back their budget, they'll probably be happy. That's just a guess.
Means like anybody that has to go up against, like, say, Avengers. That has got to be like, just like, yeah, well, why were you even trying? I mean, nothing opened the same day, did it?
I don't think anything did, no.
No. So I was just like, yeah. Avengers is going to hold that. Avengers is going to hold the #1 spot longer than Black Panther.
Yeah, probably, and the amount that makes, because China doesn't release until the 11th.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? Speaking of Black Panther, we all are in agreement that we love that movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw a couple of comments from people talking about in the Infinity War chats and stuff where one guy was like, well, just like Black Panther was way overhyped for what we got, Infinity War is in the same boat. And he goes, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Black Panther, but, and he went on and he listed all the things. I was like, I never thought about that. It's still not going to make me think that it's not in one of Marvel's top 5. I think it's sitting in there for me because it's very reminiscent and it has a very similar feel to it, even though they're completely different eras and stuff of the original Captain America movie. It's in that same vein. It's the origin story, but it's in a different way. It's like Iron Man's origin story and Captain America's origin story.
Have a fruit.
Origin story. Yes, are so different, yet Black Panther's kind of plays in line with the same kind of themes and stuff. It's in that realm, and I will own it. Oh yes, I will. It will be my 4th 4K movie.
Dun dun dun.
Stupid technology and their stupid upgrades.
Speaking of technology and upgrades, I guess since we're over just slightly up to the 2-hour mark.
We're sitting 6 minutes away from the 2-hour mark.
Okay, well, it won't be my last call. I'll just get into it. Fantasy Flight Games, as announced, X-Wing 2.0.
You sound enthused.
I'm just like, oh, for the love of God, why, guys? Why?
You must buy more miniatures.
I know that's the whole point of the game. I mean, it's a miniatures game. That's the
2.0,
point.
really? What
Yeah,
more ships can they throw into it?
Well, here's the thing, and the way they're doing it is actually really smart. So, quick rundown. If you have never played it before, or you're too thrown off by getting into it, or whatever, there's a balance issue. You can buy the new core when it comes out, and they've apparently got brand new cards. They've simplified some things, balanced things out better, and there's new tokens involved and new maneuver dials. I mean, there's all sorts of things that they've done. It's a redesign. Even the X-Wings got a little redesign. The wings actually, the S-foils open and close. So that's a nice new touch. But they're still the same models. And if you had owned a whole bunch before, or even just a few, they are providing a conversion kit so that all your previous miniatures are still useful in 2.0. You got to be willing to spend $50 on the kit. But that's it. You spend $50 on the kit, you get all the cards for all the ships in that faction. So you need to upgrade all of your rebel ships. $50, you've done it. You've upgraded every single one of them. Same for the Imperials or the Scum and Villainy. And down the road, because they're making the Resistance and the First Order be their own factions now, those will have conversion kits too. And
Not a big fan of the designs for the newer movie. The ship design.
Yeah, I'm not really sold on them, but they are effective for the game. They were sub factions of the Rebellion and the Empire, but now they're going to be their own. So who knows what all they'll be getting? They probably get to see some of the stuff coming that we don't. So they get to plan for that in advance. Probably have to. But the fact is that if you want to keep using your ships, they're not being replaced entirely. They'll still be valid. And you don't have to spend $15 to buy another ship to get the bases and the cards and blah, 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 blah. You just get the kit.
$15, little man. Put that ship right in my hand.
Now, the only drawback is if you bought multiples. I've got 6 TIE fighters. Well, the conversion kit will upgrade one of them. Well, crap.
How do you know it's that one? Because he's the one flying out ahead of everybody.
Yeah, well, the other thing is they also added some additional mechanics to the game. I.e., if your pilot character should have the Force, you'll actually have the ability to use the Force now. So there's some neat advancements they're doing to it, and they're not making you throw everything away and start over. Thank God. That's it. I'm not buying the kits.
We need a Spaceballs RPG.
No.
No, I'm good.
Or at least an
No, I'm
expansion set for one of these other ones. I would love a ship that turns into a giant maid. Flying Winnebago.
Well, it's just design it and 3D print it.
I'm just talking to play like as a thing in a game. It's like the Millennium Falcon takes on Lone Stars, Winnebago. He'd go. It would win in a race because he can go ludicrous. Oh wait, no, that's the other one. It was Spaceball 1. Spaceball 1 can do ludicrous. Lightspeed too slow.
No, that's too slow. What? Go to ludicrous speed. What
Sorry,
are you, chicken?
You better buckle up. Buckle this.
There's not enough in that film to make an RPG on.
No, there's not.
Besides, it's parody, so we don't need an RPG. We don't. No, I'm fine with as it is.
Spaceballs, the board game.
They joked about it.
Yes, they did. Well, I am going to call last call, guys.
I ain't got nothing.
I got nothing. I'm talked out.
Well, now that you guys
Same.
are talked out, I'm ready to start giving you a dissertation on. Yes.
The band, yes. Are they actually at this concert?
Oh wait, BattleTech. There's the thought. That's out. That is a game that dropped, and apparently it's being played by two of our own, Trekkie and Goodwin, and they are enjoying it. So apparently it's a pretty good game. I probably need to get it. Also, Alistair, didn't someone have a comment about Frostpunk?
God, I remember the gist of it, but it's going to be a misquote. It's Frostpunk is a game that is going to essentially crush your soul, and they wanted to know who hurt the studio.
Show on the doll where you were hurt.
Ah, and don't forget, the new, softer and lighter Kratos is brought to you because God of War 1 and 2 were full of toxic masculinity.
Boy.
Dad of boy.
Can I just say one thing really quick about God of War? All the yes. Every single goddamn yes.
And on that note,
I love Norse mythology. Sorry. Go ahead.
We'll be back next week talking about who knows what and what knows where. And
who put it where? What?
And what?
Maybe tacos.
Who is Gamora? Where is Gamora?
Why is
I can do
Gamora?
better. Why is Gamora?
How is Gamora?
I can take it. No, you can't. It is such a shame they took such a powerful character as Drax in the comics and turned him into the comic release.
I know, but I love
He
him.
does it so well, but... and don't forget, as we mentioned in our Saturday recording, which you got to go over and listen to, Drax has no nipples. Think on that one. And say goodnight, boys.
Good night,
Oh
boys.
my god, does it?
Haha,
Oh.
made you think.
Oh god.